Pick up that $7 box of borax from the back of your laundry shelf, because a few of the things this little box can do, your exterminator quietly hopes you never find out about. You reach for it maybe once a month for laundry and forget about it the rest of the time. It's been on American store shelves since the 1800s, and what it can do around the rest of your house, most people have completely forgotten. What I am about to show you is 21 uses for one single box. One of them is going to show you exactly how much money you've been handing over for something you could mix yourself for a couple of dollars. And number one takes out an entire ant colony for pennies without a single spray. By the end, I'll tell you why this one box outlasted every cleaning product that's come and gone for over 100 years. Let's get into it. Number 21. The marks all over your walls. Crayon from the grandkids. The gray scuff by every light switch. That greasy shadow of fingerprints around the doorknob. You wipe at it with a wet rag, it just smears. It never really lifts. Mix 1 tablespoon of borax into 2 cups of warm water. Dip a soft cloth, wipe the mark. It cuts through the wax and the grease that plain water only pushes around. Crayon, fingerprints, scuffs, gone. And it won't strip the paint underneath. If your walls are flat paint, test a hidden corner first, then go to work. And keep number 3 in the back of your mind while we go. That's the one that takes 0 effort at all. It does the work overnight while you sleep. We'll get there. Number 20. The smell coming up out of your sink. You run the disposal, you run the water. An hour later, the smell is right back. That smell isn't down in the drain. It's the gunk caked on the blades and the rubber flaps you can't see. Pour a 1/4 cup of borax down the disposal. Let it sit 15 minutes, then run hot water and turn it on. It scrubs the buildup of the parts your eye never reaches, and the smell goes with it. No lemon, no special pods. A 1/4 cup and 15 minutes. Number 19. Towels that come out stiff as cardboard. You buy soft towels. A few months later, they're scratchy and stiff straight out of the dryer. You blame the towels. It's not the towels, it's your water. The minerals in hard water bake into the cotton a little more with every wash. Add a 1/2 cup of borax to the load along with your detergent. It softens the water before it ever touches the fabric, though those minerals never lock in. This is the original job this box was made for 100 years ago. Soft towels, and not a drop of fabric softener. Number 18. Whites that have gone gray and yellow. Your white pillowcases. The good towels you bring out when company stays the night. They used to be bright. Now there's a dull gray cast over all of them, and bleach only chews up the fibers and makes it worse over time. That gray isn't dirt you can scrub out. It's a fine film of leftover detergent and minerals built up one wash at a time. Throw a 1/2 cup of borax in with your usual detergent. It strips that film off the threads and lets the white underneath show through again. The whites come back bright. And unlike bleach, it isn't eating the fabric to get there. Those pillowcases, you'd be embarrassed to hand a guest, bright again. Number 17. The mattress you've honestly never cleaned. You wash the sheets every week. The mattress underneath, years of sweat, body oil, and dust have soaked straight into it. Strip the bed, sprinkle a light, even layer of borax across the whole mattress. Let it sit 1 hour. Then vacuum every bit of it back up. It pulls the trapped moisture and odor up out of the surface, and it discourages the dust mites living down in there. The bed smells clean again, the kind of clean you forgot it could be. Do this twice a year when you flip the mattress. That's 5 down, and we're just getting to the good ones. The money savers are still ahead. Number 2 especially. It's going to show you how much you've been overpaying for something you could mix on your own counter for a couple of dollars. Stay with me. Number 16. The trash can shield. You clean the trash bin. You call it done. 3 days later, the smell is back. Here's why. The bin was never the problem. After you clean it out, sprinkle a 1/2 cup of dry borax in the bottom. Before the new bag goes in, it absorbs the odor, and it keeps flies and ants from setting up in there. One step lasts for weeks, costs almost nothing. Number 15. Porcelain sink scuff marks. White porcelain sink. Those gray marks that show up after years of pots and pans. You've tried everything. Those marks aren't scratches. They're tiny metal deposits left behind by your aluminum and stainless steel cookware. Sprinkle borax on a damp sponge. Buff them away, hard enough to lift the metal. Soft enough it won't touch the glaze underneath. Most people think those marks are permanent. They're not. Number 14. Window screens. You spray your window screens with a hose. Looks like it's working. It's not. It just moves the dirt around. The pollen and dust packed into the mesh. It stays right there. Dip a soft brush into borax and water. Scrub the mesh. It pulls the grime out of those tiny holes instead of pushing it through. Rinse them off. They look almost invisible again. Number 13. Car floor mats in winter. Road salt destroys floor mats. Most people just live with it. Here's what the salt does. It bonds into the mat fibers and leaves those white rings when it dries. Wash your mats with borax and water. It neutralizes the salt before it can set. The rings never form. Your mats look newer, longer. One extra step when you wash them. That's it. Number 12. Moth-proof your storage bins. Packing away the winter wools? Skip the mothballs. A light dusting of borax in the bottom of your storage bins. That's all it takes. Museum curators use this exact method to protect historical textiles. It works, without the harsh chemical smell, safe around the fabrics you actually care about, and it doesn't leave everything reeking of chemicals for the next 6 months. Number 11. Rust stains on clothes. Rust stains look like a lost cause. They're not. Mix borax and lemon juice into a paste, equal parts. Apply it right on the stain. Let it sit 30 minutes. The citric acid breaks down the iron, the borax lifts it to the surface, scrub, rinse. Stubborn ones might need a second round, but they come out. Most people buy specialty removers. This is all it takes. Stay with me. The next ones save you the most money. Number 10. Revive a shrunken wool sweater. Before we started throwing things away, people fixed them. You shrunk your wool sweater. Here's the fix. Dissolve 1 tablespoon of borax in a gallon of cold water. Submerge the sweater. Gently stretch it back toward its original shape while it soaks. 30 minutes. Then lay it flat and dry it, stretched into the shape you want. The borax relaxes the fibers enough to let you reshape them. It doesn't work on everything, but it works more often than you'd expect. And quick, while you're here, drop your state in the comments. I want to see how far this little box really travels. I read every single one. Number 9. Preserve flowers permanently. You want flowers to last for years instead of days. Here's how. Mix your borax with an equal part of plain cornmeal. That mix is what keeps the petals from crushing and the color from fading. Pure borax alone is too heavy. Fill a container with the mix, set the flowers and face up. Gently pour more over them until they're completely covered. Leave them 2 to 3 weeks. When you take them out, dry, full color, holding their shape. This is how a bouquet from a wedding got kept for a lifetime. My grandmother had flowers on her dresser older than I was. Number 8. Kill weeds in sidewalk cracks. Those weeds pushing up through your driveway and patio cracks. They're not going away on their own. Pour dry borax directly into the cracks. A teaspoon per crack is plenty. It raises the boron level in that small patch of soil high enough to kill the plant at the root. One thing. Only use this where you want nothing to grow. It's very effective and very permanent. One treatment handles the whole season. Number 7. Protect outdoor wood from rot and insects. Mix 1 cup of borax into a gallon of hot water. Stir until it dissolves. Brush it onto any bare wood, fence posts, deck boards, garden beds, shed siding. Let it soak in and dry. It gets into the wood fibers and makes them resistant to rot, mold, and wood-boring insects, including termites. Reapply once a year on surfaces that take the weather. This isn't a new idea. It's an old one we forgot. The next few, your exterminator hopes you never find out about. Number 6. Get rid of silverfish. They eat your books, the old family photographs in the box in the closet, the glue behind your wallpaper, and you never once see them do it. You just find the damage. They live where it's dark and humid. Closets, bookshelves, under the sink, down in the basement. Dust a thin layer of borax along the backs of your shelves, in the closet corners, under the cabinet bases. They walk through it. It dries them out from the inside and they don't survive it. The trick is a thin dusting. Pile it on and they'll just walk around it. Keep it away from where children and pets can reach. Number 5. Get rid of cockroaches. A roach doesn't wander. It runs the same routes every night, tight against the baseboards, behind the stove, under the refrigerator where it's warm and dark. That's where the borax goes. A light line right along those runs. Here's the part people get wrong. They dump on a pile. The roach sees a pile and goes around it. A barely there dusting it can't avoid. That's what does the work, then leave it alone. It takes a couple of weeks to move through the whole nest because they carry it back and it spreads. One of the most effective roach treatments you can do without ever picking up the phone. Number 4, kill flea eggs in your carpet. Your pet brought fleas into the house. The adults you see are a fraction of the problem. The eggs are in the carpet. That's where you go. Vacuum first. Wool up all the adult fleas, then sprinkle borax across the carpet, especially where your pets sleep. Work it deep into the fibers with a broom. It's a natural mineral, but it's a powerful dehydrator, and that's exactly why it kills the eggs and larvae before they hatch. Keep your kids and pets off the treated area until you've vacuumed it thoroughly. Do this right, and one treatment breaks the whole cycle. Number 3, deep clean your toilet overnight. This one takes almost no effort because it works while you sleep. That hard water ring sitting just above the water line, the one that won't scrub off no matter what you use. Pour 1 cup of borax directly into the bowl before bed. Don't flush it, just leave it. While you sleep, the borax sits on that ring and loosens it, softening the buildup that's been baking on for months, so it lets go instead of fighting you. In the morning, 1 pass with the brush. Flush. That ring that's been there for months, gone. No harsh chemicals, no fumes, no scrubbing on your hands and knees. Number 2, make your own laundry detergent. This is the one that'll make you feel like you've been overpaying for years, because you have borax, washing soda, 1 bar of fels naphtha soap, 1 cup each of the first 2, grate the soap, mix it all together dry, store it in a container, 2 tablespoons per load, that's all. A batch costs $3 to $4 and gets you through 40 to 50 loads. This recipe is older than any brand in the laundry aisle, and it still works better than most of them. 1 more to go, and it's the big one. Before I show you number 1, drop me a comment. Which of these are you trying first? The toilet, the detergent, the flowers? If this box replaced something you've been buying for years, tell me which one. I read every comment. Number 1, take out an entire ant colony. Spraying ants kills the ones in front of you. The next day, there are more. The colony is what you need to reach. Mix 1 teaspoon of borax with a cup of sugar. Dissolve it in warm water. Soak some cotton balls in the mixture. Place them near the ant trails, along the windowsills. Wherever you see activity, the ants think it's food. They carry it back to the nest. The workers feed it to the colony. They feed it to the queen. The borax disrupts their system slowly enough that it spreads through the entire nest first. Within a week, the trail is gone, Liz. Within 2 weeks, the colony is gone. A $7 box. No exterminator, no contract. 1 box, 21 uses, $7. And here's why it outlasted every product that came and went for 100 years. The problems never changed. Hard water, bugs, stains, odor. None of it changed. So the box never had to change either. So tell me, what should I put up against it next? Borax and vinegar together? Or baking soda? Drop it in the comments, because I still haven't shown you what happens when you mix borax with vinegar, and that one surprised even me. It's on your screen right now. Go watch it.